see!
Fleet Street.
Please, darling, I'm trying to take your picture.
Paper, Mr. Bates.
Oh.
Thanks, Charlie. Hello, Rod.
Now, what do you want?
Listen, have you seen today's Echo?
Yes, what?
Turn to page 3.
You just sit tight and don't get panicky.
Come in. Midday edition, Mr. Deering.
Sit down, Wilfred. Sit down, lad. Do you know what's wrong with this edition? What was wrong with all yesterday's editions, and what will be wrong with all tomorrow's edition?
No, Mr. Deering?
Then I will tell you, lad. I am suffering from a great lack of cooperation from the criminal classes. I'm not getting the help and encouragement which I, as a crime reporter, might expect.
Well, you've certainly been off the front page for some time now, Mr. Deering.
For far too long, Wilfred. And the newspaper is suffering. The public will accept floods and earthquakes and bomb throwing and film stars' weddings for just so long. And they'll take it without grumbling. They might even read the leading article. But in the end, Wilfred, what is it they want in the end?
Sex, Mr. Deering.
Thank you, sir.
Come in.
Can I see Mr. Deering?
Well, Mr. Deering's out at the moment. But I'm his assistant. Can I help you?
Well, it's rather important. I did want to see Mr. Deering.
Well, what's your game, then? Come on, get out of it, you saucy lad. We've met before, I know you.
Yes, that's right. My name is Keefe, George Keefe.
Oh, yes, the Pedbury business.
That's right. You came down to Pedbury when my brother was murdered.
Oh, yes. It was a nasty business, that.
It's about that I've called.
What, the Pedbury case? But that was a few years ago, wasn't it?
4 to be exact. The 16th of August.
How long ago was that, was it?
Have you seen your paper yet?
No, I haven't. Why?
Then you haven't seen that photo.
Oh, I see, the competition page. No, that's hardly my line of country. Strictly between you and me, George. This is a circulation stunt aimed to keep the paper going while the crooks are on their summer holidays.
Yes, but look at that photo, Mr. Deering. Look. This one here. Look at that car number.
LMM 302. But that... Well, it can't be. Hang on. M302. It's the same car.
Well, of course it is. You didn't think I'd forget that number, did you?
Well, no, I suppose you would, but this picture, the competition one, I mean, well, that doesn't mean a thing. It could have been taken a long time before the car was stolen. Several years, perhaps.
Could it? Look at that evening echo board. Can you see what it says?
Yes, it says West Indies clinch it.
And now do you see?
Yes, I do. When did they clinch it?
It was at the Oval. I remember it distinctly. The 16th of August.
Yes, that's right. George, that's wonderful. Fancy you thinking of a thing like this.
Well, I'm a bit of a sports fan, as you might say. Besides, I'm not likely to forget that I was thinking about that last test when I found my brother's body.
Well, this picture, this must have been taken on the late afternoon or the evening of the murder.
Yes, after the car was pinched. And you know who must be in the car?
Well, the murder, you're right. And the girl. This girl standing in the chemist's doorway was... She must know whoever it is in the car.
Yes.
You haven't talked to this to anybody else, have you, George?
No. The moment I saw this photo, I came straight here. I haven't even told the police.
Oh, well, if there's anything in it, they'll have to know, of course, but there's no harm in my trying to find out something first, is there?
Quite right.
Are you at the same address, George?
Yes, still there.
Good. Well, thank you, Mr. Keefe.
Oh.
You'll be hearing from me. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Wilfred! I want you to run down to the library and get me all the cuttings information you can find on Police Constable James Keefe and the Padbury murder affair. That's a good boy.
Come.
Can I see you for a minute, Count?
Well, I'm pretty busy. This better be important.
This will put crime back on the front page.
Come in. Vaguely, I see what you're getting at, dearie. It'd be better if I knew more about the affair. I was abroad at the time.
Well, it was quite a case. The first one I worked on for the Echo. That car you're looking at wrecked in the ditch was stolen from some respectable businessman who was attending an official luncheon. Next time it was seen, it was just like that, and empty.
You say this fellow who just called in, what's his name, George Keefe, he found it?
Yes. He was cycling home from a late shift at work when he came across this car wrecked. And then 20 yards further along the road, he found the body of his brother, Police Constable James Keefe.
Murdered?
Yes, shot through the head at close range. The Padbury police got onto Scotland Yard.
Thank you.
The Padbury police got onto Scotland Yard. Bliss was put on the case, but not even Bliss could find out anything. It was generally supposed that this car was used for the purpose of robbing a house or something.
Has there been a robbery?
Yes, at a house near Padbury.
Stuff recovered?
Well, no, but loot of this kind with a murder rap hanging over it would be pretty hard to dispose of.
Now you want to reopen the case on the strength of this new photo?
Yeah, well, you see, if we can...
I see, all right. On the day of the murder...
On the evening of the murder, the Echo came out with the latest test scores.
On the evening of the murder, an amateur photographer took this snap of a cat being rescued by a policeman. Quite by chance, he also took a photograph of the car used by the murderer.
Or murderers.
Quite, or murderers.
Yeah, but you see, it's the girl in the picture who's so important. From where she's standing, she can see straight into this car. And what's more to the point, she recognizes whoever's in the car. And she's waving to them in a very friendly way, too.
All you've got to do is to find the girl.
No, it sounds a busy, but it must be worth a try. Just think. If we can trace this girl, it's the biggest news scoop of the century. And even if she doesn't remember a thing, she would still be the girl who last saw the Padbury murderer. Just think of the human interest angle.
I'm thinking. How'd you go about tracing the girl?
Well, we've got the name of the chap who took the picture. Here it is. Fred Stokes, Battersea, London. Now, with a bit of luck, Mr. Stokes might remember where he took this picture. And even if he doesn't, well, it might be easy to trace the district. It looks like and probably is Battersea. And then we've got the name about the chemist shop. Sorry.
Go on.
The girl's wearing a white coat. She's standing in the chemist's doorway. The chances are she works in the shop.
Or did work there, years ago?
All right. It should be easy to find out where she went to.
Well, I suppose you might just as well be chasing this wild goose and sitting about the office doing nothing. Look after your expenses.
Oh, yes.
Keep it a Battersea if you can. Now, what's your first move?
Mr. Fred Stokes of Battersea. Oh, by the way, is it all right if I use the car? Well, I shall have to move pretty fast if I can get there before Bliss and his boys spoil my scoop. Come in.
Well, as soon as you... thank you, Martin. Thanks. As soon as we've got the address of this fellow Stokes from the Echo office, I want you to go along and see him.
Yes, sir. You'll go find this girl, sir?
Well, I hope so. What bothers me is that we shan't find her before the chap in this car does. He starts with an advantage. He knows her.
You think she might be novel, sir?
Noble? Well, she could be in danger.
What I can't understand, sir, is why she didn't come forward at that time. Why, for instance, didn't she report having seen the stolen car on the day of the crime?
Probably because she didn't know it was a stolen car. I don't suppose she could have seen the number plate from where she was standing, and, well, even if she did, it's hardly likely that she would have remembered it the next morning when the murder story broke. Anyway, women seldom concern themselves with number plates.
Yes, sir. But it was a stolen car. She must have known the bloke inside didn't own it. Wouldn't that have rung a bell when she saw details of the murder in the press the next day?
Well, the murder happened at Pedbury. And perhaps she doesn't read murder stories, bless her. But you have got a point there about the car. I wonder. Perhaps she was used to seeing this chap going about in different cars.
Yes.
Hello, Bliss? Oh, good. Put him through. The Echo office. I think I'll have a word with Deering first. Now, put me through to Mr. Deering, please, will you? Put me through to Mr. Deering, please, will you?
Deering? No, not here.
Not there? Oh. Oh, all right. Well, then, put me through to your competition department, will you, please?
Just hold on a minute.
Very smart young man, now, Mr. Deering.
Where is he, sir?
Oh, my dear Nixon, where do you think? Nosing around in Battersea somewhere, if I'm not very much mistaken.
Battersea, right away.
Here's one of Effie before she put on weight. It's nice, isn't it, too? Very natural. He's took the same camera as the one he sent up to you. I'm sorry he's not in, but of course he's grown up now, you know. Nearly 19 years. Well, you know what boys are like at that age, don't you?
That's quite...
No time for photographing now. I was the one, you know, that sent the photo into the paper for you. I wanted him to do it, but he said he hadn't time, so I looked it up. And then
Is there any chance that this picture was taken from this album?
Oh, yes. Here, look. I'll show you the place where I took it out of. There you are, marked and all. Oh, look, I must show you this one. Isn't it nice? You're so sweet, and that...
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Stokes. It was very kind of you.
Oh, do look, though. You see, they're never so sweet as when they're young. Oh, they look. Isn't it lovely?
Oh, I've no one to work for me now, Mr. Duncan, except my wife. You can't get people to work in a shop nowadays, you know. You, my dear, how...
But you've never had an assistant?
Oh, yes, I used to have a girl working for me.
A girl? When?
Oh, a long time ago.
Several years ago.
Possibly. It's a little difficult. If only my wife were here. She left me to pose. You know, to be a... well, to be an artist's model.
Would you remember her name?
Ah, there you have me, Mr. Duncan. I usually have quite a good memory for names, but that girl's name I cannot recall. Still, I shouldn't bother if I were you. You know, she went up to the West End. Oh, not your sort at all. I believe she broke Jack Bates' heart.
Jack Bates?
Jack Bates. He wasn't her type, of course. Still, he's a steady fellow, and that's a nice little business he's got. Oh, yes.
A small handkerchief, please.
That'll be sixpence, please. Thank you. Anything further?
No, thank you.
Did you have a nice day yesterday?
Where can I find Jack Bates?
Jack Bates. Ah, now there's a chap who might be able to help you to find that girl, Mr. Duncan. He was rather sweet on her.
Yes, I know, but where can I find him?
In his garage, of course, Mr. Duncan. Where else? Just across the road, past my shop to the left.
in, Bates. What do you want?
Sorry to trouble you. I can see you're busy. I'm from the Evening Echo.
From the Echo?
Yes.
Let me try to come into the office for a minute. Charlie, finish this, will you?
We are trying to trace a girl who used to work at Mr. Duncan's shop.
Girl? Girl? I don't know any girl at Duncan's. What's all this about, anyway?
I'm sorry, Mr. Bates. You must be thinking this a bit of a cheek.
Yes, I do.
It's just that Mr. Duncan seemed to think that you and this girl knew each other pretty well before she left.
What the devil's it got to do with that old fool? Who I know?
Have you got any wiper blades, Mr. Bates?
Well, yes, underneath the bench, in the spark plug box.
We didn't probe into your business, but Duncan couldn't remember the girl's name or where she went.
No, neither can I. What's all the trouble about, anyway?
Would you remember if that was the girl who worked in his shop?
No, I wouldn't. I don't know the girl. I never saw that girl before in all my life. Duncan's just a lying old busybody. He'd try and get a chap into trouble. Look, mister, I'm sorry I can't help you. I don't know the girl.
I'm sorry to bother you again, Mr. Bates.
What do you want?
How much are they?
Much of what?
The wiper blades.
Oh, 3 and 4pence. Look, mister, I know nothing about this.
Oh, well, in that case, Mr. Bates, I'm sorry I troubled you. It's not important.
That's okay. I'm sorry I can't help you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Get my hat and coat, miss. Look, this is very important. I've got to go up to town. Something has cropped up. I want you to finish what you're doing here, lock up for the day, and don't worry about me. I've got my own key.
Mr. Bates, Mr. Wilmot wants his factory.
Never mind, Mr. Wilmot. Just do what I say. I'll see you tomorrow. Now, go on.
Yes, Mr. Bates.
Now for Jack Bates. Let's hope the old boy got that name right. Good Lord, his wife came in when she did. She's never got the girl's name from poor old Duncan. Go on. That boy certainly gets around. What if he saw Bates?
We've got the girl's name. That's the thing that really matters.
I take it, my dear John, that you didn't come here to discuss the poetry of copywriting.
No, I didn't. Do you know this girl?
My dear fellow. Really?
What do you mean by that?
I'm just a teeny bit surprised at you. I didn't think you were that sort of a chap.
What sort of a chap?
I'm sorry, old lad, but in this branch of journalism, well, we have certain standards. We've an ethical code.
Oh, come off it. You don't call this mixture of cheesecake and cliches journalism. Anyway, I'm not chasing the girl. At least I am, but professionally.
Considering your profession, that makes it all the more sinister. I know the girl, and I'd do my utmost to defend her from you to the last.
What's her name?
Pat Dryden.
Do you know her address?
What's she done?
Nothing, my dear Stanley. That's the trouble. She's a silent witness, and I must find her. She must talk.
I don't believe a word of it. I know Pat. She was here this morning, modeling for me. She's a very nice kid.
Well, she looks a nice enough sort of girl, but I don't have things like that worry me, you know, when I have a story. You have a very undeveloped sense of humor, but thanks for the information. And the drink.
A pleasure.
Oh, good evening. My name is John Deering. I'm from the Evening Echo. I rang you earlier.
Of course. Will you come in?
Thank you. I'd like to. Shan't keep you long, I hope.
Lucette Marimar gave you my address.
Well, yes, he did, but reluctantly. He didn't like giving it.
Perhaps not like him. You said on the phone you're from the Evening Echo.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait a minute. I have a card somewhere.
Oh, please don't trouble. I'm sure Stanley wouldn't have given you my address if you weren't. Well, that wasn't urgent.
Oh, yes, of course.
Please sit down.
Miss Dryden, did you ever know Jack Bates?
Jack Bates? Why, yes, I did. Has anything happened to him?
No, he's perfectly all right. I saw him just this afternoon.
Are you a friend of Jack's?
Well, not exactly a friend.
Look, I don't know what this has got to do with the Evening Echo, or if that was just a gag. But if you've come here from Jack as an ambassador or something...
But I haven't. Honestly, Miss Dryden, I haven't. I met him for the very first time this afternoon.
Then what do you want? What's this all about?
Did you say Deering was there before you?
Yes, sir. And the way Bates went off in that car, wouldn't surprise me if Deering didn't have something to do with it.
What, with Bates' hasty departure?
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, sir, Deering gave a false name to the chemist.
False name?
Yes, sir. Called himself Duncan, or so the chemist said.
Ah, passing himself off as the chemist's twin brother, I shouldn't wonder.
Yes, of course, sir, yes. It was a chemist's name, wasn't it?
Never mind, Nixon. You got the girl's name right, which is more than Deering did.
Well, there was a picture in the Echo this afternoon. It was an entry in our real-life snaps competition. It showed a policeman rescuing a reluctant cat.
I saw it.
Did you recognize anybody in the picture?
Yes, myself.
Then you are the girl standing outside the chemist's shop.
Oh, I used to work there once before I became a model.
Oh, this is great. This is too good to be true. I shall make history.
May I ask what's so particularly staggering about the fact that I once worked in a chemist's shop?
My dear, you and I are going to make the headlines. We're going to scoop the jackpot.
Molly Smithers. Not a very nice name, is it? I mean, it's not the sort of name that a girl would keep if she was going to become a glamorous fashion model. We have to get on to all the agencies in the morning and check with them. It's too late now.
And what about Bates, sir?
Bates? Yes, Bates. Do you realize that Bates may be the man that we're looking for? The girl wouldn't have been surprised to have seen him cruising around in a strange car.
Well, I got his number, sir. And I put out a general call to report him if it turns up in town anywhere. The number is...
Yes, I know, Nixon. It's here in your report.
Shall we pull him in?
Oh, good Lord, no. We haven't got anything against him. Besides, our best game at the moment is a waiting one. This photograph will be causing quite a ferment somewhere, if I'm not very much mistaken, and...
Did you know this car was stolen?
What?
The car in that picture was stolen. Did you know this?
Look here, this questioning's gone far enough.
You didn't know the car was stolen, did you?
I beg your pardon.
I'm sorry. I mean Miss Dryden.
But that's impossible.
Why?
Well, it couldn't have been. I knew.
You knew the man. You knew the man in the car, but you didn't know the car was stolen, did you?
Why are you so interested in a car that was stolen 4 years ago? If it was stolen.
This man Bates and you.
Why are you so interested in Jack Bates?
Because he was the man in the car, wasn't he?
How'd you know?
Bates has a garage. He also repairs cars. Now, you wouldn't think it's strange to see him driving around in different cars, would you? And it certainly wouldn't occur to you to make a note of the number plate.
I don't understand. There's something else, isn't there? Something you haven't told me about. You're a reporter. But you don't follow up cases of cars stolen 4 years ago. Even you couldn't make that exciting.
No, not unless the car was stolen for some other purpose. To commit a crime, maybe.
Was it? What crime? Please tell me.
this? Oh, good. Where? I'll get over there right away. They've located Bates's car outside a restaurant in Knightsbridge. I'm going to get over there now. This is the address. Now, you hang on here. Right then.
Why are you asking me about Jack?
Because you asked me to tell you what crime the car was used for.
Oh, yes, that's right, but surely he didn't commit anything.
A couple of hours after that picture was taken, this car was used to rob a house at Pedbury.
Pedbury?
Does that sound familiar?
No, of course not.
I covered the Pedbury case, but not the robbery.
Not the robbery?
No, the murder.
Murder? But that's impossible. It couldn't have been Jack. It couldn't have been. It must have been the other man.
What other man?
The other man in the car. There were two of them.
A fellow called to the garage this afternoon. Started asking questions about the girl in the photograph. You know, the one I told you about this afternoon, the one in the paper.
And I told you to sit tight. No one can do anything about a photograph like that if we keep quiet. Now, who was this man? What did he want?
He looked like a policeman, but he said he was from the Echo.
It'll be John Deering.
John Deary!
Oh, shut up, you windy little rat. What did you tell him?
I told him I didn't know the girl.
Why?
Well, you didn't want me to tell him that the girl knew me, did you?
You'll find out. So will the police. And then you'll have to explain why you lied. Understand?
Yes, but...
Now listen, Bates. Nothing can happen to us if we both keep calm. The whole thing happened 4 years ago, and the police wrote off the case without a clue. But if I behaved the way you're behaving every time Bliss or Deering came in here...
Do they? Do they really come in here, Rod?
Of course they do. This is a first-class restaurant. I know them all.
Yeah, but supposing the girl talks. Supposing the police find her.
Well, what will she remember?
She'll tell them that she was waving to me in the car.
How do you know?
She's bound to remember. We often talked about that cat and the policeman.
You think she'll remember all that, do you? Will she remember me?
No, I don't think she even knew you were in the car. She didn't know you, did she?
And I don't have much to worry about, do I?
Now, wait a minute, you can't do that. You were there. You shot the copper. It wasn't me, it was you. I wanted to go to the police.
Shut up, Bates. I'm not going to crawl out on you. Not if you do what you're told and keep your mouth closed. Now, listen, Bates. Who is this girl?
Molly Smithers. At least that's what she used to be called. She's changed her name now. She's Dryden. Pat Dryden or something.
Pat Dryden, eh?
What do you want to know for?
Just in case I have to talk to her. Where does she live?
I'm not going to tell you.
Why aren't you?
Because I don't trust you.
You don't think I'd hurt her, do you, Bates?
Blast you, I know you would if she stood in your way. I saw you shoot the copper, didn't I?
Don't keep saying that, Bates. It's not nice. So you're not going to tell me where the little girl lives, eh?
No, I won't.
Still sweet on her, eh? Come on, Bates, where is she? Give.
I don't know! I haven't got the address here. It's in my book. Back in the garage. Rod, I can't go on anymore. I can't. I'm through.
You're through, you fool.
Look, if I went to the police...
What was that?
Oh, I wouldn't tell them about you, Rod. I'd say that I picked up a stranger that night, maybe. A stranger, and that he did it. Shot the copper, I mean. And that I was frightened.
Yes, well, Bates. That's the way you feel. You go ahead. There's nothing I can do to stop you doing otherwise, is there? I know you wouldn't shop me.
Of course I wouldn't, Rod. You know me.
Yes, I know you, old man. I suggest you go home, have a nice sleep, and think it over. If you feel the same way in the morning, you go right ahead.
You mean that, Rod? You don't think that...
Of course I do. Forget it.
Okay, I'll let you know in the morning. It'll probably be all right by then. It was just that chap Deering coming like that.
Yes, of course, of course.
Upset me.
Now, you run off home, old chap. Good night, Bates.
Sure you are.
Sergeant Nixon, please.
Take a Sergeant Nixon.
Nixon, Bliss. Bates has just left here. He seems to be very worried about something. The local station. Tell them to send a man along to Bates's garage, just to keep an eye on the place. And have this place covered too, will you?
Right away, sir.
What are you doing here? I thought you didn't know Pat Dryden.
Don't you keep out of this. Dearie, you keep out of this. Take your hands off me. Tell you Pat's got nothing to do with this.
But you're wrong. She has a lot to do with it. She saw you and the other men in the car that day, just after you murdered Keith.
I didn't murder Keith. It was...
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen the fella since.
Now, that won't convince a jury, you know, Bates. Anyway, what do you want to see Pat Dryden about?
I came to warn her that... Just wanted to talk to her about it, that was all. Look, she doesn't know the other man either.
You're in real trouble, you know. What are you going to do about all this?
I'm going to tell the police. Tomorrow.
Did you really have nothing to do with this shooting?
No. No, I didn't.
All right. You go up home. But forget the girl. We don't want to get involved in any more trouble.
All right.
Yours, etc., etc., etc. Editor, yes? Oh, hello, John. What progress? Still sounds a bit of a wild goose chase to me.
I found the girl. She says there were two men in the stolen car. She knows one very well. He's a garage owner named Jack Bates. I've just been speaking to him. I can't get information about the other chap. The girl doesn't know him and Bates won't talk. But I'm sure I can find him.
Wouldn't that be a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack?
Well, that's my problem. You know, there's something very fishy about this Bates business. I'm going down to his garage again to see if I can pick up anything there.
Don't you forget the Echo's a respectable evening paper.
Yes, all right. Yeah. Okay.
Rod, what are you doing here?
Going somewhere, Jack?
I was going to ring you in the morning, honestly. Just like I said I would.
It's all right, Bates. Don't be nervous. Inspector Bliss? Bates got back about 2 minutes ago, sir. I couldn't see him very clear, right? I've been thinking about what you said, and I think you're right. You should go to the police. But, don't mention me. You see, ever since that accident, I've been going straight as well. And the publicity would ruin my business.
Sure, I understand that, Rod. It was just that I thought it was all over and forgotten with. And this fella started coming, stirring it up again.
Well, don't you worry about it. You get yourself in the clear. There's no reason why anyone should connect us, is there?
Oh, no. You're all right, Rod. Nobody knows about you at all.
Oh, well, forget it. Got a drink anywhere?
Yeah, sure. I'll get you one right away. You know, it's really nice of you, Rod, to take it like this, because I was worried. Terribly worried.
You don't have anything to worry about. Wait!
Okay, well, you get back there and keep your eyes skinned.
Right, sir.
Oh, miss, I wonder if you could help me. I've been trying to get Riverside 8261.
Oh, it's like Grand Central Station. Bliss?
Bates is dead, sir.
What? Dead?
It looks like murder. It must have happened just after I got back.
Was anybody else there?
Yes, I saw a man, and I recognized him. It was Mr. Deering. You know, the reporter from the Echo. He went in, then came running out and drove off.
Look, you contact your station. I'll send somebody down from the yard.
Right, sir.
Well, it looks as though my hunch was right, Nixon.
Yes, sir. It's a pity we didn't interview Bates earlier.
Yes, but we didn't. And now the poor blighter's dead.
Deering's got a lot of explaining to do. You going to pull him in, sir?
I'd love to. I'd love to let that clever young man spend a night in the cells for his sins.
A night in the cells? But this is murder.
Johnson, send a squad car down to Pedbury, will you? Bates has had it. Oh, yes, it's murder, all right, but not by Deering. At least, I don't think so. I left a message at his office for him to ring me as soon as he gets in.
Will he go to the officer?
Well, you know Deering. Even if it meant putting a rope around his own neck, he couldn't resist filing the story on the Bates murder. Oh, yes, he'll get to his office, all right. And just as soon as he can make it. Any word yet from the constable outside Malloy's place?
Malloy hasn't returned yet, sir.
I don't like it, Nixon. I wish we could lay our hands on that girl.
Molly Smithers. Yes, she might be able to throw a lot of light on this business.
No, it's not that. This killing of Bates has got me worried for her.
You think that whoever killed Bates will try and get rid of the girl?
If he can find her. Molly Smithers. There ought to be a law preventing young women from changing their names.
Oh, they do it every day, sir. Marriage is an institution blessed.
Nixon, stop being funny. That's the prerogative of detective inspectors. Don't you ever read any crime stories?
Sorry, sir.
Molly Smithers. I suppose we have tried everybody of that name in the telephone directory.
Yes, sir.
Well, then we shall just have to wait until we can start working on the agencies tomorrow morning. I hope the poor little darling has managed to stay at modeling. Oh, here we go again. Bliss? Who? Oh, it's you, Deering.
Listen, Bliss, this is urgent. I don't know how far you got in this Padbury business, but I saw Nixon today.
I know. You ignored him. He was most hurt.
Well, I suppose he'll get over it. Did he see Bates?
No, he says that you frightened the poor chap away.
Bates is dead. He's been murdered.
I know.
So you had a policeman watching the garage. Did he see anybody go in?
Only Bates, and then you.
But Bates was dead when I got there.
Would you care to make a statement?
Oh, you. I'll make a statement, all right. Oh, look, Bliss, it's the girl I'm worried about.
Me too. But what can we do about it? If you hadn't started your confounded interference into things that don't concern you, we might have been able to have seen Bates today and discovered the whereabouts of the girl.
But I know that. I've seen her. I know where she lives.
You know? Is this on the level, Deering?
Of course it is.
Who is she?
Her name is Pat Dryden. She's a model.
Nixon, take us down, will you?
20 Millstrom Mansions.
So? Millstrom Mansions, Kensington. Right.
I'm on my way over there now.
Oh, then the girl won't need any police protection, will she? Or will she? Clever fellow, that, Deering. But he's right, you know. The girl is in need of protection. You'd better take a squad car around there now.
Are you coming, sir?
What, in a squad car? Oh, not me. They go to town fast. I should be scared stiff. I'll probably come along later, though, in my own car.
I do.
Bliss here. Do you have my car sent round, please? Yes. And get on to Superintendent Halford, will you? Tell him that we've traced the girl and that I'm going round there now. Thank you.
Four gallons, please. You got a telephone I could use?
It's over there, sir.
Oh, thanks.
Hello?
Pat?
Oh, Mr. Deering. John, I mean. Just a minute, I'm going to put on the light.
Pat?
Yes?
Jack Bates is dead.
What? Can't be.
I'm afraid he is.
I can't believe
He's been murdered. I found him half an hour ago in his garage. I phoned you from down there. Where were you?
I went out to eat.
Oh. Well, look, I'm in Hammersmith. I'll be with you shortly. But, Pat, I want you to listen carefully.
I'm listening.
I want you to think back. Think back hard to that day when you saw the two men in the car. Well, can you remember anything? Anything at all about the second man?
But I told you, John, not a thing. Is he the man who killed Jack, do you think?
Well, it looks very much like it. Inspector Bliss thinks he knows who it is, but naturally didn't tell me. I don't want to frighten you, Pat, but you must see that this man is dangerous.
Yes. Yes, but he doesn't want to harm me. I don't know him. I don't remember him. I couldn't identify him.
Yes, but he may not know that. All that he needs to know is that you saw two men in the car for him to be rattled. And he is rattled, Pat, I know this.
How'd you know?
Because he tore the D's out of Bates' address book. Right. See. Pat, are you there?
Yes. Yes, I'm here. I thought I heard something outside.
Was your door shut?
No, I left it open because the phone was ringing.
Well, Pat, go and shut it. Shut it and lock it now.
All right. It's all right, John. It was someone from the flat upstairs going down in the lift. I've locked my door.
Oh, good.
See you soon.
Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute.
Bye.
Yes. I'm afraid it's me, Miss Dryden.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Thank you, sir.
You? You're the other man.
What a pity. You know me.
I don't know you. I've never seen you before.
Now, come, Miss Dryden. You can hardly expect me to believe that. First, I'm the other man, then you don't know me. What other man am I, Miss Dryden?
I don't know. I was told that you...
What were you told, Miss Dryden? What were you told, Miss Dryden? Who are you speaking to on the telephone? Miss Dryden, what were you told?
You killed Jack Bates.
Who told you that, Miss Dryden?
John Deering. He's on his way here.
Dearing. Dearing knows. He's coming here. Tell me, Miss Dryden, how does Dearing know I killed Bates?
He doesn't know.
I see. You guessed. He doesn't know, does he?
He will. He's coming here now.
But who will he find? Me? I don't think... No. I shan't be here. And you? You won't be here either, Miss Dryden. You will have met with an unfortunate accident. You were perhaps out on the fire escape. Oh, young people do these foolish things to avoid the scandalized eyes of their neighbors. You would have slipped. Such a long way down. Excuse me, please.
Do come in.
There they are.
Hold it. That won't get you anywhere, Malloy. There's a net round this building that you won't break through. Now give me a gun.
You come near me and I'll fire. Look out!
Get down to him as quick as you can.
Are you all right, Pat? Well, that's over with now.
I take it, Daring, that Miss Dryden is in no need of any immediate attention from us.
I'm perfectly all right, thank you.
I see you were a bit late again, Bliss.
Yes, we got stuck in the usual intolerable traffic jam at Hammersmith. I don't know what the police are going to do about it, I'm sure. Yes, I know what you mean. And we should have been quicker, of course, if you'd got the address right.
Ambulance right away. Millstone Place, emergency.
And you call yourself a journalist.
Story. Pat, your telephone.
Newsroom? Would you take this down for me, please? John Deering, exclusive. Headline, The Girl in the Picture. Tonight, in London, Rod Malloy.